started treating my YouTube channel like TikTok, and it completely changed how clients showed up for themselves, how they showed up for my offers, and how quickly they were able to go from just finding me off of an Instagram ad or a thread or even YouTube to enrolling into one of my offers. So in this video, I'm going to break down exactly the YouTube funnel that I'm using to take clients from cold to enrolled in literally days and weeks instead of months and years. Okay, so if you're new here, my name's Leticia Hudson. I've made over $2 million online, and I've made multiple six figures with this YouTube funnel that I'm about to break down for you. And I started noticing back at the beginning of 2024 that it no longer was 2020, 2022 anymore. Clients were taking longer to enroll. And I don't know about y'all, I have bills to pay, families to take care of, and that just wasn't an option for me. So I decided to take a step back and decided to get really strategic about how humans and people were moving online with their buying decisions, and really took a look at my own personal capacity to see what would work for me versus what wouldn't work for me anymore. And that's kind of where YouTube came into play. Okay, so if you've been thinking about starting your YouTube channel, if you've been scouring the internet to figure out why YouTube is going to be the best fit for you, I'm going to show you a simple way to leverage YouTube strategically in just a few hours a week to be able to enroll high ticket clients, sell digital products, and just really build a personal brand that people remember online and in real life. Let's get into it. YouTube is going to be the place of where you're creating your ideas, your inspiration. It's going to be your anchor, as I like to call it. So we're going to put YouTube here in the middle, making sure y'all can see my screen. Okay, so that's going to be YouTube. So YouTube is that's where we're going to pour our first original thoughts and original ideas into YouTube. And that's going to be your long form content. So this is going to be, let's just say 10 to 20-minute videos. Okay, and I have a video on how I create videos and stuff, so I'll below in the description box. But I'm talking about really the mechanics of the funnel today. But if you want to understand how I do YouTube and I get videos up in less than an hour without editing and make them impactful, watch that video. So YouTube is going to be your anchor. So you're going to have two sides of this. Okay, so YouTube is where your content ideas, your library, right, is going to live. And we're treating it like TikTok. We're not editing. We're not being super fancy. Like, you can do minimal edits, but you're not being super fancy. The goal is to get the content out. We need to have a way to repurpose this content. Okay, repurpose. And then we also need to understand we need to distribute it. Okay, so there's two sides to this story. What I need you guys to first understand, though, if you understand funnels, YouTube is no longer, when we look at a funnel, when we think about marketing and sales, right? We typically, most of you guys know, cold traffic, warm traffic, buyers, customers, clients, etc. So typically you have your top of funnel, which is traffic, right? This is where the most people are going to interact with you. Okay, have what you're doing is like content. Okay, so this is where content comes into place. You're nurturing, and then this is where sales is on the bottom. Okay, so most people look at YouTube. They look at YouTube from this place of like traffic. This is how most people look at YouTube. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that YouTube is not a good form of top of funnel, but I don't treat YouTube as my top of funnel, okay? Because for one, I'm in a more particular niche, a particular space. I solve more specific problems for specific business owners. So for me, you can even look at my channel. My videos that perform the best are more top of funnel. Do you need top of funnel, more mass market topics? And what does that really mean? That means like topics that way more people can relate to, like period. The topics that way more people can relate to is where you're going to get more views and engagement. Okay, so I think about digital products. Way more people can build digital products than people that can build coaching programs or run funnels or have the money for ads. So there's way more business owners that want passive income with digital products. So of course you can do top of funnel content and build your whole brand off of that. That is not my long-term passion. I love digital products. I love passive income, but I want business owners that have an expertise in something to sell that are already in business. And I speak to mostly those people. So if I treated YouTube like how traditional people think, top of funnel, then I'd be creating a lot more content around, in my space, how to make money online, how to sell digital products, the best platforms for digital products. And again, I do that here from there, but that's not my main goal. So that's going to be top of funnel. Okay, so instead of treating YouTube like top of funnel, I'm treating it mid funnel. Okay, this is where I want you guys to treat YouTube. I want YouTube to be your content library. Okay, we need to stop looking at content as one-offs or, something that you have to do. Look at it as something that you get to do and look at it as your lived experience and your documentation in your own library. Think of it like Netflix. Like think of your YouTube channel as like a series, and you're going to constantly be adding to that series. It kind of like never ends, okay? And then from there, when you have really great content, when people say just post the content, this is kind of what I'm saying, is that when you have really great content that pre-sells people, sales is easy, right? You can send them to a checkout page. You can send them to a sales call if you want. I don't do those, but some people do. You can send them to a Google Doc. You can send them to your DMs. You could really send them anywhere, okay? But when you build this library, this Rolodex, that's going to allow people, what is this going to allow people to do? The middle here is like a sandwich. It allows people to know, like, trust. And what's really different about YouTube, it's given like that white coat syndrome, right? When you see somebody in a white coat, you automatically assume authority, your perception of value changes, a level of respect, okay? That's the fourth one that nobody talks about, right? Nobody talks about how your YouTube channel allows you to build respect and rapport with your audience fast, okay? Because when somebody consumes content from you, when they consume, they trust you, they respect you. What do they do? What do they do when they do all these four things? If they're looking to solve a problem, what do? They buy, right? They buy from you. That's what happens, okay? So that is how we're treating YouTube. That's the difference that you have to kind of get in your brain. Understand how to treat YouTube like a business owner and not like necessarily an influencer. I think there's a time and a place, honey. The two sides, repurposing your content from YouTube and distributing. So YouTube, you're going to take the content, your video, which is your content, you're going to take that and you can do a few different things. You could create newsletters, okay? Which is great. Newsletters are amazing for communication. So this could be like your YouTube video can also be, and you can use AI to do a lot of this, okay? I want you guys to understand. You can use this to be a newsletter, which I do, like your once a week newsletter, because this is like your deep value. This is where you're really giving people what they need and what they want. The next part here is also you can take your YouTube content that performs well and you could create social media content. Okay. And when I mean social media content, I mean like on Instagram, even TikTok, you can create your stories, you can create your posts, your feed posts, you can do lives, whatever, right? And then another way you could do this is also Threads. Threads is one of my favorite places to generate leads, okay? And just to kind of double back and talk about top of funnel, Threads and ads is why I don't have to worry about YouTube bringing me new leads. Does it bring me new leads? Absolutely. Especially the more like mass market, the more awareness type of content that speaks top of funnel, that is meant to bring in people. It has a larger market that it can reach. So of course, some of my YouTube videos bring me in leads, right? But for the most part, because I have Threads, I use Threads and I use Instagram ads, I'm already generating leads, period, point blank. Okay, so I'm not worried about that. I'm looking at how can I make my middle of funnel content, my nurturing, my engagement, how can I make that so impactful that people want to work with me and the audience that I have and that I'm already building consistently because I have a system to build it. Just posting content is not a system, you guys. You have to strategically understand from a marketing perspective. I'm gonna talk about this really quick. Marketing isn't just, posting content. Marketing, actually, there's a few different buckets, but to make this simple for you guys to understand, you have lead gen, okay? Okay, and then you also have actual marketing. You have to create content to create conversions. So I'm just, for the sake of this video, I'm gonna call this like engagement. Okay, so you have to generate leads and you have to get your people to engage. Okay, so lead gen, like I said, my ads and my Threads handle my lead gen because it's built for that. Threads eventually may not be the best platform to generate leads, but it is right now. And when a new platform comes out, you got to use it. Okay, so that's lead gen. Then engagement, right? This is where you're adding value. We hear this all the time. This is where you're building like trust. This is that like middle of funnel content. Okay, so you have to understand marketing. If you can look at marketing, and there's also branding and things like that. But just to make it simple for this video, I'm breaking it into two categories. When you understand that they have two separate functions, then you will act freaking accordingly. So you will always figure out how to generate leads and not figure out, you'll just know, I'm telling you, Threads and ads. And then from there, right? And then you also use some of your YouTube videos, but like focus threads and ads for your lead gen, and then your YouTube is going to be that middle of funnel that's going to add the value and build a know, like, trust really, really fast. Okay, so there's that. So we use threads, and that's where our YouTube content can give us all the resources that we need. And you can use AI. You can literally upload the transcript and get high level overviews and then write from that place. Okay, so that's how I'm using on the outside. Then we got to think about distribution. Okay, so now you've created this YouTube content. And again, we're not focused on top of funnel, we're focused on mid funnel, conversion, engagement, adding value, educating, activating, creating authority. That's what you're doing in middle of funnel, right? Because in order for somebody to buy, they have to know who you are and they have to trust you. So you have to do all those things with your YouTube videos. But now, okay, you're doing all of this, you're repurposing, but you also need to distribute. Those are, again, two different things. Repurposing, lots of people repurpose and use short clips and they don't get any views, right? But we need to distribute and remind people, right? I think about the most recent, like Cardi B, she just had an amazing launch. She every day was reminding people, she was out on the street, she had different promos, podcasts. She was selling one album, but she was reminding people that it was up for sale, right? So you have to understand that with your YouTube, you have to get in front of the people that are looking for a solution to their problem. So you can distribute all of this content, right? You're going to redistribute the actual video. Okay, let people know that you have the video that's available, right? This video I'm making right now, I'm going to tell my email list. I'm going to tell my people on threads about it. I'm going to tell my Instagram. I also use Facebook a little bit. Anywhere you have an audience, you need to tell people. So you're going to redistribute all of this. So you can, again, all of Instagram. Okay, you're also going to, from there, and this is why I love Instagram. So again, you're going to redistribute to all the platforms and not just posting the link. Again, you can redistribute and all of that, but you also want people to watch the video. So on Instagram, for example, and I can show you guys an example, what I do on Instagram is I'll take that and I'll do like maybe a reel, carousel, threads, right? I'll do a real carousel story. And then from there, I'll use a mini chat automation. I use a mini chat automation to collect emails. And now I'm growing my list. Okay. So I'm growing my list. And then from there, right inside of the inbox on mini chat through Instagram, I'm delivering the video, the direct video link. And sometimes I also have like these resource guides. I'll talk more about that in a second. But that is really the process, you guys. So it's taking your anchor. And if you're creating 1 or 2 YouTube videos a week, you'll never run out of content. Okay. So that is really what that looks like. Feel free to screenshot this, etc. But that's what this process looks like from a high level. So now I want to kind of switch gears a little bit and talk about, okay, now that we're understanding repurposing, right? And you guys are going to ask, how many threads should I do? Do what you need to do to get the sales. Okay. So if your audience is small, you got to grow your audience. So that means you may need to figure out, you need to have some sort of action in your business happening every day. So ads is going to be great for you. If you're scaling, then okay, ads plus threads. Right? Whatever that looks like, or threads plus ads, or whatever, wherever you can get traffic from, you need to be getting traffic every single day. Okay. So that's repurposing. You're taking your anchor video, and this is where you're now not having to spend 7, 10, 15, 20 hours a week on content. You can spend 5 because you're going to film 1, 2 YouTube videos. So you're going to use AI to repurpose it. And then now you're going to redistribute it. You can use AI tools, manual, but that doesn't take a long time. Okay. So now that we understand all of this, right? Let's go ahead and talk about, I'm going to do a new page. Let's talk about, right, what this actually looks like and how we make these YouTube videos more valuable. Okay, so here's my process, and I'm gonna show you guys an Instagram post in a second. So here's my process. Okay, so like I just told you guys, when we're distributing it, the funnel, here's what I do in my business, and this is what's working for us. So like I said, we have our traffic source. Okay, we have, what do we have? We have ads and threads. Okay. And then again, sometimes my YouTube videos, but again, that's not my focus. So we have traffic. Then from there, I send everybody to a lead magnet, and it's my, I call it a mini course, but it's a VSL. Okay. VSL. This indoctrinates. Okay. This is a pre-recorded video. It's like 20 to 30 minutes. This is a pre-recorded video, and I get people's email to watch this video. Okay. I get the email. So they watch this video. This gets them indoctrinated, right? This is where the this is where the no happens over here. This is where the like happens. Okay. An understanding happens. Then from there, what I do in my business, right? At the end of this, I'm asking people, okay, if you want to work with me to be able to generate more leads in your business, grow your YouTube, build this business model that I have, that's essentially my call to action in this VSL, then DM me on Instagram. Oops. I say DM me on Instagram, right? With a keyword. And then from there, right, they get my offer doc. They get the offer doc that's the best for them. And now sometimes people say, okay, Latiz, what's those conversations like? Because this is all, and I'm going to give you guys, there's more to it, but this is the baseline of what it looks like. And I'm going to show you where YouTube comes in, and this is really palpable. This is hosted on YouTube, okay, this mini course. So if you found it, you could watch it without opting in, but for the most part, my ads, my threads, I'm getting people to opt in, okay? So this is hosted on YouTube, and it's telling them to DM me on Instagram, and then they get my offer doc. And yes, I have an AI bot that works for me as an AI agent. So instead of having a setter, all of that, I have an AI bot that I use. I also do this manually. Sometimes just depends on the mood that I'm in. But ultimately, we ask a couple questions. What are you needing help with? Who are you? What are your offers? Then from there, if we can help you, we'll send you over the correct offer doc, because I have a couple different offers that people can work with me in. Okay. So they'll get one of my 3 offer docs. I have 3 right now. It's a Google Doc. Okay. And if you want to know my exact template, it's for sale below. You can grab Sell with Docs, and I break down the training, how to use this, how to install this into your business, and how to create yours with AI, and you can have it up and running within an hour. Okay. And I wrote this offer doc before AI. So it's handwritten, but now you get to use my template to just plug and chug and get yours up and running. And I have clients who've made thousands and thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars. We've used this to sell our high ticket offers without selling on sales calls or needing to be hours and hours back and forth in DMs. So that is pretty much how I sell. Now you're probably wondering, like, okay, Latiz, you just talked about this like funnel, right? This is my automated lead funnel that I'm running right now that gives me, right, no sales team. I don't need a sales team. When my sales team started quitting it, leaving at the end of 2023, early 2024, I never replaced them because I wanted to find out a better way. This is my better way. It gives me peace, right? And it brings me great clients and high profit. Okay, great clients. So you're like, okay, I know this looks crazy, but now you're probably wondering, right? Like, where does YouTube fit into all of this? Okay, so what did I just tell you guys? Okay, I just told you that and I'm gonna do another page real quick. I just told you guys that part of, once we get traffic, I'll write this over, right? What do? I collect emails. And what's nice about the ads that I run on Instagram and the threads, they're naturally going to see my Instagram. They're going to be on my Instagram. I do create content 2 to 3 times a week on Instagram, which is great. But here's my biggest driver, okay? I collect emails, right? And I also can run retarget ads. Okay, but we'll keep it simple for now. I collect emails. So what do? What did I just say earlier about distributing my content? So I send my YouTube videos out to my email list, my new videos. That basically my videos, if you guys watched the video before this, I talk about the 4 types of content I create. Go watch that video. There's 4 different types. There's awareness, there's activation, there's authority, and there's case study and proof. Those are the 4 types. Go watch the video before to learn more in depth about that. But I send these videos at various stints throughout the week as they come out, and I send those videos. And then what happens? People consume that content. When they consume that content, what do? They buy. Okay, right? And some people don't buy. That's fine. A small percentage will buy, but the percentage that will buy, what are they? They are pre-sold. Because what do? They consumed my content. So if somebody sits there and consumes my content for 7 to 10 hours, because I have it readily available, when they DM me the word info to inquire about my services, it doesn't take all day because they already know my offer. They know how I talk. They know my values. They understand my process. They understand results I've been able to get myself and my clients. They are ready to work. So now, because we've pre-sold them, they're ready to buy. So what does this do for me? I don't have to handle objections. For the most part, I don't have to beg, barter, plead. Not that I've ever done that, but like, it's game over, baby. Because YouTube is creating me, right, my own personal Netflix. It's like my own personal Netflix. Okay, so when you guys think about it, when you watch Netflix or Peacock or whatever, I think about Love Island, how everybody shook this summer. When you are sitting and consuming content, what happens? You become indoctrinated. You become slightly obsessed in a healthy way. But if your ideal client is looking to solve their problem and you are sending them content that handles those preconceived notions, those objections, you're educating them, you're showing competence, you're helping them shift their identity, you're educating them, you win every time. Okay, so the people that are ready will be ready. Here's what I know to be true, you guys. You can never, ever convince somebody to buy from you. So that's not your responsibility. Your responsibility in all of this, your only responsibility is to make sure that the content is created and you distribute it and make sure that it gets better and better every time. That's your only responsibility, period. Okay. That is your only responsibility. That is literally so beyond freeing when you understand that's your only responsibility. So at the core of all of this, okay, your YouTube channel is your own personal library, your own personal Netflix. And when you take up space and ensure that you have the traffic in place, even if it's just $10 a day, and you spend time creating your think pieces on your threads. I'll go in more detail about how to use threads to generate leads in another video. Maybe I'll film that one right after this. But when you understand how these mechanics work, now you're pre-selling, because most people spend too much time trying to sell in the sales call or sell in the DMs. If they've just spent their time and shape shifted their time to create one-to-many sales conversations through their YouTube channel and through their email, they would have a lot more sales. They would feel better about sales, and sales would feel a hell of a lot easier. But if every time you make a sale, you have to have these long back and forth DM conversations, or you have to get on a sales call, no wonder you're feeling drained. No wonder your business isn't scaled or optimized, because you don't have the capacity, because the constraint is the business model. The constraint is your marketing process and sales process, because it solely relies on you showing up one-to-one to make the sale. Okay. VSLs alone aren't enough. Just like YouTube alone isn't enough. You need all the working parts. You need the leads, right? You need the VSL to get people indoctrinated on understanding, okay, who are you? It's like your elevator pitch for your ideal client. That's what that is. And then from there, some people will DM you right away and want more information, but they're not going to be warmed up enough typically. So we have to warm them up. And the best part of this, you guys, too, is that if you can get people to engage with your content because you're top of mind, you're consistently distributing, you're letting them know that you're here and available, they're going to consume. And when they consume, they buy. So that is how I'm using YouTube in my business. It's so simple. Honestly, I aim to get 1 to 2 videos out a week. I have a chronic illness that doesn't always happen, but you know what? It doesn't matter. My list is always growing. I'm always able to reference videos in the past, because at the end of the day, an Instagram post has a shelf life less than milk, honey, where your YouTube videos have a shelf life of 2-3+ years. So if you had to make a decision, which one are you choosing? I'm choosing the shelf life of 2 to 3 years every time. Okay. They both have their place. They both are necessary, but I'd rather spend my brain building legacy content that can be distributed for months and years to come than only focusing on a platform that doesn't prioritize me. So I'm not going to prioritize it. I'm going to prioritize a platform that supports me, my goals and my dreams, and allows people to consume from me. And also, it just automatically gives you that higher level of perception of value, which is really important, especially in the online education space, no matter what niche that you're in. Okay. So there's that, you guys. Hopefully that you found this helpful. Please be sure to like this video, definitely subscribe. And as I said below, I'll drop the link below for Sell with Docs, which is my exact Google Doc template that I use, that I've been able to sell $20,000+ offers, anywhere from, a couple $100 all the way up to over $20,000 to $30,000 offers with this Google Doc template. So if you want that, definitely grab Sell with Docs below. And if you want your own help, if you're like, Leticia, I'm ready for the next level, I want to get to a business where I'm making 70-80% profit, I don't need a big sales team, I can hit 30, 50K plus 100K months, and I'm doing that from a lifestyle model and not from this big hustle bro culture model. You want this 7-figure upgrade freedom-based model, DM me the word info on Instagram and I'll ask you a few questions, see how I can support you. No pressure, no sales call needed. If it makes sense, we'll talk about how to work together. Okay. So I adore you guys. Hopefully you found this video super valuable. Let me know what you took away below. Again, be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell, because YouTube be playing a little bit sometimes, but I love YouTube. And I'll see you guys in the next video.